Hi, this is Justin with Ocean Vayu Yoga. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be working our hips from a few different directions through a variety of postures, and we will begin by just simply sitting and paying attention to our breath for about a minute or so here. We want to cultivate a sense of awareness of how it feels to breathe, and it's easiest to do that while just simply sitting, so that we can then carry that awareness through the rest of our practice as we move into and out of and hold some of the poses that will come along. If you find during the practice that being in any of the postures presents a challenge that causes your breath to fluctuate or get strained, then you're going to want to back out of whatever that posture happens to be to the point where you can regain a steady, smooth breath flow. And with that said, we'll now loosen up the body from this seated position. Take a breath in, feel the ribs lift away from the hips. We'll just walk the hands out in front, bringing the upper body down over the legs. When you get about as far forward as you think you're gonna, take a breath in, soften over the legs for a few breaths here. And then we'll begin to walk the hands back, bringing ourselves upright. We'll change legs. So whichever leg was in front, we'll switch. And then we'll walk the hands back out, balancing out the initial opening in our hips here. And this, of course, does not need to be maximally deep, just softly loosening up. And with an inhale, we'll begin to come back upright. We're going to twist here. We'll twist to the right, so take a breath in. With our exhale, we'll bring the right hand behind us and the left arm across, maybe to the right leg or right knee. Try to keep the spine lifting and the breath smooth. We'll come back to center with an inhale, and as we exhale, we'll pass over to the left side. Again, tall spine. And with an inhale, back to center. We'll stretch out our sides by walking the right hand out, plant the palm, reach the left arm up, and then sweep it up and over a bit. If you would like to bend into the elbow of your supporting arm, feel free. Otherwise, you can keep that arm straight. And with an inhale, we'll come back up, and exhale, lower the left arm. We'll walk the left fingers out, plant the palm, reach the right arm up, and then come up and over. And again, you have the option to bend into the elbow of your supporting arm. Keep the breath steady. Again, we're just loosening up here, so we don't have to force depth. With our inhale, we'll come back up, and exhale, lower the right hand. We're going to make our way onto all fours here. And we'll start to loosen up the hips a little bit. We're going to raise the right knee off of the ground just a little tiny bit, inch or so, and start to make some small circles, moving in whichever direction you happen to decide to start moving in. We're going to go both ways, so it doesn't really matter. We'll switch directions here. And just keep tuning back into the breath. And we'll set the right knee down. We'll lift the left knee, and again, some small circles in whichever direction you happen to start moving. And then changing direction. And bring that knee back down. We'll curl the right toes down and straighten the right leg. So we're pushing back into the right heel, lifting up on the kneecap, slight lift in the lower abdomen, and sort of gently pressing the mat away from ourselves with the hands. Then inhale, we'll raise the right leg off of the ground. Doesn't have to be really high up here. And if your balance feels good, we'll then extend the left arm out in front. We're kind of reaching out through the left fingertips, pointing back through the right toes if you'd like more of a challenge. You can sort of widen the line here, sweep the left arm out to the side and the right leg a little bit out to the side. You don't have to do that. Back to center if you did. We'll bring the left hand down and we'll raise the right leg up a bit higher here and then lower the knee down. We'll switch sides. We'll curl the left toes down, straightening the leg, pushing back through the heel, drawing up on the kneecap. Again, pressing down with both hands firmly and a slight lift in the lower abdomen. We'll lift the left leg off of the ground so the foot is up. And again, if your balance feels good here, we'll then extend the right arm out. So we're reaching out through the right fingertips, back through the left toes. And again, the option to intensify this, if you would like, to sweep the arm and leg out to the sides a little bit. Again, you don't have to do that. And we'll come back to center if you did. We'll bring the right hand down, left leg up, and then drop the knee down. We'll sink the hips back towards the heels to come into child's pose. Let the upper body just drop over the legs. Relax the arms. Keep the breath steady. Just soften for a moment. We're going to come back to all fours. We're going to step the right foot up between the hands and bring the upper body up. We want the left hip over the left knee and the right knee over the right ankle, hands to the waist. We're going to lower in stages here. So with an exhale, we'll lunge a little bit and pause. Take a breath in. Our exhale, we'll move a little bit further into our lunge and pause. We'll inhale. With our exhale, moving a little further. And one more time. If there's any more room to go, we will sink a bit further forward. We're going to take the hands from the hips, palms touch, thumbs gently pressing into the center of the chest. If you would like, you could reach the arms up here. You don't have to. You can keep the hands at the chest. And another step along the way, if you would like, is to lean back. So bringing the arms back slightly. A little bit of a back bend. Again, totally optional. We'll come back upright if you were in the back bend. We'll bring the hands back to the chest if the arms were up. Nice deep breath in. We'll raise up a little bit and pause. And again, we'll inhale coming out of our lunge a little and pause. Inhale a little further out, pausing with the exhale. And again, inhaling and exhale. Bring the hands down by the front foot, curl the back toes under, and start to straighten both legs out as much as they're willing to go. Again, not forcing. Let the upper body soften over the right leg. And we'll bend back into the right knee, drop the left knee back to the ground, step the right foot back. We'll be on all fours here, and we'll switch sides. We'll bring the left foot up between the hands, bring the upper body up, and bring the hands to the waist. And again, we'll move in stages coming into our lunge here. So breath in, with the exhale, we'll sink a little bit. Inhale, and sink with the exhale. Again, gradually moving. 2 more breaths to get there. Great. And from here, we'll bring the hands from the hips together with the thumbs resting gently against the center of the chest. And you can keep the hands here the whole time. Of course, you have the option to raise the arms up. And if you'd like to take it further, the option to bring in a bit of a back bend here by leaning back. Keep the breath steady, whatever variation you're doing. And we'll come back upright if you were leaning back, hands back to the chest. And we'll start to come out little by little. So with our inhale, we're coming up and pausing with the exhales. Sort of breaking it into little bite-sized movements. One more. We'll bring the hands down, curl the right toes under, and start to straighten both legs out. Again, whatever amount they're willing to go. Let the body soften over the left leg. bend back into the left knee, dropping the right knee back down, stepping the left leg back, sorry. And we'll sink into child's pose. Again, softening the body, checking back in with the breath, compressing the fronts of the hip joints after having just opened up the hip flexors there. We're going to come back to all fours. We're going to make our way down to a seated position. We're going to come into a shoelace posture, and you could do a half shoelace if you like. We're going to bring the left leg on top of the right leg, either the ankle by the knee or stacking the knees, and the full shoelace would be bending the right leg underneath, so the legs are shooting out away from one another, or the feet are going out away from one another. Then we'll walk the hands out forward to come down over the legs here. And again, you can have the right leg still out straight with just the left leg on top, or both legs crossed over. And with an inhale, we'll come back upright. We're just going to either come to a simple cross-legged position, or you can come into a double pigeon by having the left ankle on top of the right knee and the left knee on top of the right ankle. We'll walk the hands out forward and soften here. Again, simple crossed legs if the double pigeon is not happening for you. And we'll make our way back up with an inhale. Undo the legs, send them out straight for just a moment, and we'll switch to the other side. We'll bend the right knee, either placing the ankle above the left knee or stacking the knees. You could then tuck the left leg under, so feet are again moving in opposite directions here. We'll come down over the legs. Of course, the left leg could still be straight out in front. And we'll begin to come up with an inhale. And again, we'll either make our way to a simple cross-legged position or double pigeon on this side with the right leg on top, ankle on the knee, and the knee over the left ankle. We'll walk the hands forward and soften here. Again, just making sure the breath is staying steady and smooth. With the inhale, we'll come back upright. We're going to extend both legs out straight for a moment, and we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, a bound angle posture, with the soles of the feet together, heels drawing in, thumbs to the balls of the feet. We'll peel the feet open a little bit, lengthen the spine, and with an exhale, we'll fold over the feet. This might be more of a micro movement than a deep fold, depending on how your hips and inner thighs are feeling today, and that's fine. We'll inhale, rising up, and with the exhale, we will release the legs. We're going to extend them out wide here, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You can run the hands down the legs. If you'd rather have more support, hands to the floor out in front of you, and we'll soften ourselves forward. Again, this might also be more of a micro movement than a deep forward fold. Either way, just paying close attention to your breath. Coming up with an inhale. And we're going to cross the legs. We're going to do some seated cat-cows here to bring a little movement into our spine and give our hips a rest. So hands to the knees. So with an inhale, we'll raise the chest, raise the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest and curling down. We'll inhale, chest up, gazing up. Exhale, chin tucks. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, drawing in on the lower abdomen, rounding down. Inhale, uncurling upward. And exhale, rounding down. One more. Inhaling up. And exhale, rounding down. Our inhale will come to a neutral position. We're going to lie down flat on our backs here. We'll take our time getting there. We're going to come into Supta Dandasana, or a reclined staff pose. We're going to extend the legs up into the air here. maybe pointing the toes towards the ceiling, aiming for about a 90-degree bend at the hips. So we want the legs active but not totally rigid. And we're going to get ready to come into a reclined twisting posture here. And to get there, we're going to bend the right knee, let the left leg drop down flat to the mat, and we'll bring the right leg over across to the left side. We'll extend the right arm out to the side. The left arm can mirror the right arm, extending out to the side as well, or the hand can stay placed on the outside edge of the right leg. But if it's on the leg, let it be there softly. We're letting gravity do the work here. We're not pulling on the leg. And we'll come back to center. We'll bring both legs back up and we'll set up the other side. Bending the left knee, letting the right leg drop down. And then we'll bring the left leg across. Left arm extends out to the side. The right arm can, of course, mirror that along the floor, or gently keep the right hand connected to the outside edge of the leg. Keeping our breath smooth and soft and steady. We'll come back down, back to the mat. Bring the knees in. We'll kind of rock a little side to side if that feels good for you, or of course you can stay completely still. And we're going to let both legs now come down flat to the mat. We're going to settle right into a final relaxation posture here. So there is no alignment to be chased after. We're softening the body, and as the body softens, so too will the breath soften. We can let go of any awareness or effort in our breath and just resume a normal, everyday pace. So little by little, we'll just keep checking back in, seeing that the body is releasing any areas of tension. Now we're just allowing ourselves to melt here about as completely as we can. Of course, you are welcome to stay here for as long as you would like, whatever your body is calling for. So if you have some extra time and you'd like to stay longer, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll begin to move our fingers and toes around just a little bit. And then maybe move a little more into the hands and feet. We'll bring the arms up overhead, and with an inhale, we'll stretch out, pointing the toes. We'll soften with the exhale. We'll draw the knees up in toward the chest. Again, if it feels good, you could rock from side to side. You could stay still if you like. And we'll roll over to our right side and just soften here for a moment. Just taking a few breaths. We'll make our way up to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged or otherwise. We'll bring the palms together. Let the thumbs again rest against the center of the chest softly. And bring our awareness back to our breath. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. If you enjoyed this practice, let us know. You can drop a comment down below. And if you haven't already done so, we always appreciate it if you would take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks. We'll see you next time.